Good morning. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn for the beauty of the earth, number 21 in the gray hymnal. For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human care, sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts and mild, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. Please be seated.
Got some people coming up. Good morning. We're almost there. Let's try it again. Good morning. There we go. And welcome to this Sunday service of the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship located here in Durham, North Carolina. I'm the Reverend Jim Lewis, Minister of Lifespan Faith Development and Pastoral Care. And whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race, gender identity, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. If you're new to this community, and especially if you're visiting us for the first time today, I invite you to introduce yourself in the chat box, or rise in body and spirit, and introduce yourself so that we can all give you an E-Rough welcome. Do we have any visitors today out there? We're out there? Anybody? Anybody? First time, second time? We may have people in the chat box. Can we give them an applause in case we do? Excellent. Excellent. So thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday morning with us. If you have children or youth with you, they are invited to stay with us in service today. We often have nursery care, but today we don't. However, we have brought some toys over to the chapel and have some youth staff available to support families there in case it feels more comfortable to have your nursery-age children in there with you. We invite visitors to the Inquirers class for visitors and newcomers right after service in the Care Building next door to find out more about Unitarian Universalism and ERUF, and that is also available on Zoom. There's always a lot going on here at ERUF, both today, throughout the week, all the time, and you can find out more in the e-news and on the homepage of our website under eruf.org for events. A couple of announcements, a couple of important things. We have a budget forum coming up. Maybe that sounds dry, but it is very important. Monday, May 1st at 7 p.m. on Zoom. So if you would like to come to that, you can join the board and the senior staff to ask questions and view the budget and staffing plan for the coming year. And there's more information about that in the e-news and on the website. Also, the ERUF annual meeting is coming up on Saturday. Yes, I said Saturday. That was on purpose. It was not a mistake. Saturday, May 20th at 9:30 a.m., both in the sanctuary and on Zoom. So you can come in person or tune in through Zoom if you want to be part of the annual meeting. Today's music is provided by music director Wendy Looker and pianist Kate Lewis, with our chalice singers, our Sunshine Kids, and Jewel Song, all providing special music. Today's tech team is John Fellheim and Sean Trimble. Stephen Daniel and Don Burrows are on sound. So now would be a good time to turn off or place in worship mode any devices you may have on your person. And let us center ourselves and begin worship together.
We are the children growing. You are the place we live. We are the seeds you're sowing. We are the life you give. We are the future rising. We will be your voice. We will watch and learn from you. We will make the choice. I am the earth. You're in
Good morning. Our opening words are lyrics from the song We Shall Be Known by Kurza Longagear. We shall be known by the company that we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now. And what a time to be alive. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. May it be so. Amen. Blessed be Ashe.
We are going to sing This Pretty Planet. The chalice singers will begin, then please join us for the round.
This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giants spin us around. All through the night, safe till the morning light.
This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place. This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place. This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giants spin us around. All through the night, your garden, your harbor, the morning light. This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giants spin us around. All through the night, safe till the morning light. Please take a moment to turn and greet your neighbors this beautiful day.
They're getting played off the stage. I think y'all just got played back to your seats like it's the Oscars. Good morning, everyone. My name is Katie Barnhill-Dilling, and I stand up here this morning wearing a couple of different hats.
One, I'm mom to 6-year-old Eleanor, who, if any of you out there have worked with her on any RE or kids programming, say 3 times, she thinks you're one of her people, and I can almost guarantee you that she's asked an inordinate number of questions about you or your whereabouts on any given day. And she loves seeing you out in the wild. So thank you for helping to show her what being part of beloved community can be like. She's an only child with very little extended family, so our community here is particularly important to us, and the RE programming is the backbone of her belonging. I also stand up here as a member of the RE ministry team. This year, we've had more than 150 children, tweens, and teens registered for RE programming, and at least 85 of those folks have participated 5 or more weeks. So we've served all of these kids, plus visitors, with about 29 volunteers, with those numbers waxing and waning depending on the seasons, bandwidth, and other obligations, which is perfectly understandable. I teach in the K2 cohort, and last week we had about 18 kiddos, which is amazing. And because we're seeing these numbers, we're refining our grade level groupings, and for the fall, we're gonna need at least 40 volunteers to serve our kids and young adults, all just for the regular Sunday morning programming. And this is where you come in. If you are a once upon a time RE volunteer and still have the capacity, you're being called up off the bench. If you've not yet stepped into the role of RE volunteer, now is your time. Our goal is to recruit enough volunteers so that you will only be called up for active duty 1 or 2 times a month. We have plenty of resources, both from the curricula we use and the teaching teams we are establishing, and we provide training in both spiritual exploration and classroom activities and management skills. So in addition to serving that deep need here at ERF, if my own experience is any indicator, volunteering with RE is also a deeply spiritual practice. As the 2 leads for the K2 class this past fall, Lillian, somewhere out there, and I started the congregational year with a pretty incredible conversation about what we each believed, so we could leverage those beliefs to facilitating welcoming and engaging lessons for our kids. And volunteering with RE prompts me to reflect on and refine my own spiritual beliefs and practices on a regular basis. So please consider becoming or returning to the RE volunteer team. Please reach out to Reverend Jim or Melissa and come join the party for what is this, the 23-24 congregational year starting this fall. You'll be an integral part of weaving this beloved community and ensuring that the children we serve at ERF are rooted firmly in a congregation who loves them just as they are, and preparing them to enter the wider world with you as part of that loving foundation. Come join the team. Thank you.
Means children, come on down. It's the time for the story for all ages. And if you're in the skit to go with the story, you can stand in the back, but all the other children that are not in the skit, please sit with me. There must be a few more. Come sit, I have a story to tell you. A story about Old Rock. We thought for Earth Day it would be nice to tell a story that doesn't even have any people in it. It's all things in nature in this story. Come forward, Old Rock. Come forward. We need an old rock in the story. Old Rock had been sitting in the same spot at the edge of a clearing in the middle of a pine forest for as long as anyone could remember, and even before that. Tall Pine said, "Being a rock seems awfully boring." Spotted Beetle said, "You sit in the same spot day after day." But Old Rock said, "It's a very nice spot." Hummingbird said, "Don't you want to go anywhere?" And Hummingbird tells about when she went to a place with so many flowers and butterflies. She said, "I've flown all over the world and sipped the nectar of exotic flowers. I would surely be bored if I couldn't fly." And Old Rock said, "I flew once." Tall Pine said, "Gosh." And Spotted Beetle asked, "How?" And Hummingbird said, "Rocks don't fly." Then it was dark. Old Rock told them when all about them, it was dark all of the time. In the beginning, when the darkness was all around, then I erupted out of a volcano and soared through the fiery sky into the bright light of a brand new world. Hummingbird said, "So it was just that one time." Tall Pine said, "And now you're sitting here." Spotted Beetle said, "Being bored." But Old Rock said, "I'm not bored." And Spotted Beetle said, "Don't you want to see more?" Where there's another tree and lake, I'd climb. If Spotted Beetle said, "If I climbed the tip-top branch of the tall pine, I might see a deer mouse nibbling seeds in a nearby tree. Or I might watch ships sailing across a big lake." A big ship sailing. Old Rock said, "I've seen a lot." And Old Rock told them about the time when friendly dinosaurs walked by, munching every leaf in sight. But then, many years later, not-so-friendly dinosaurs came by, looking for a meal. And then it got cold. There was snow. Time passed. Things changed. The world chilled. Which wasn't too bad, because Old Rock took a ride in a glacier and toured around the land. Once the glacier melted, it left me perched at the top of a ridge, and I could see the place where the sky touches the earth. Spotted Beetle said, "My, you have seen a lot." And Hummingbird said, "Oh, how unusual." Pine said, "Yes, but that was a long time ago." And Spotted Beetle says, "Aren't you bored now? Don't you want to move?" Oh, and Tall Pine says, "My limbs flutter gently in the breeze and dance wildly whenever the wind blows." But Old Rock said, "I've never danced, but I'm pretty good at doing somersaults." Because Old Rock revealed after teetering on the ridge for a while, the ground rumbled and shook, and I tumbled and I stumbled and I did somersaults down into the valley. And then a woolly mammoth came by. Grasses grew, mastodons roamed, and lakes formed. Rock says, "Shouldn't you be roaming? Come on." Tall Pine said, "I never knew a rockhead moves like that." And Spotted Beetle said, "I wish I could have seen those things." And Hummingbird asked, "What happened next?" So Old Rock said, "A pine forest sprouted up around me. And one day a strong breeze shook a pine cone loose, and from the pine cone a seed fell onto the forest floor. And I watched that seedling grow to be the tall pine who dances in the wind and keeps me company. And sometimes a spotted beetle wanders along to report all that he sees, and every so often the loveliest hummingbird stops to rest after a long flight and describes all of the flowers and butterflies that she's seen, all the amazing things. Yes, old Rock said, "It is a very nice spot." "Yes, it is," agreed Tall Pine. "Very nice," said Spotted Beetle. Hummingbird said, "Not boring at all." The end. And now, thank you. And now you can return to your seats. You can put your costumes back, put your costumes down, return to your seats, and you can return to your seats because you're going to be staying in the service with your parents.
It is now time for some words for meditation and prayer. Find a place to plant yourself. Find a place to be. Let your eyes relax. If you like, let them close or lose focus if you are comfortable. Spirit of life, source of love. Blessed are we in the brilliance that is this loving earth we exist upon each day. Pounding surf, fresh and clear air to breathe, playful and sometimes raucous rain. So much vibrant color showing upon all our days. I give thanks for these blessings that are among us each day. And rightly, there is fear. There is fear, there is anger, there is sorrow, there is grief as we engage with the earth, knowing that the creations, the processes, the corporate, the building, the flying, the innovation that have sometimes helped us as people have harmed this planet, have made it harder for the earth to support those of us living upon it. There is fear, there is anger, there is sorrow, there is grief. And I remember sitting in a room once upon a few years ago with activist Joanna Macy, as she asked us to imagine we were from the future. We were from the future and had survived these years now. And she asked us to imagine what we had done to survive these years, to help nurture the planet again. Imagine what we and our ancestors had done and in reality had yet to do. The hope and possibility of imagination of the still to come. And to imagine that we are not alone in that imagining, that our hearts can meld together, that we may yet bathe together in the splendor of one uniting force. And in the end, that we may provide for all of those ahead of us a chance to live into the beauty of what we have had a chance to see, feel, and experience around us. Amen, and blessed be.
Take me down to the sea, beyond the pounding surf. Let me rock in the womb of the great Mother Earth. Let me feel the awesome power of the place of all life's birth. Take me down to the sea to be. Take me out to the wild, where bears still roam the land, where the roads all come to nothing and my soul can expand. Let me revel in a majesty I'll never understand. Take me out to the wild, a child. Take me there, where my spirit longs to wander, where my kin have yet to squander riches far beyond mere gold. Take me there, where my heart has heard a calling to a twilight softly falling on a life that's bought and sold. Take me up to the mountains where the air is fresh and clear, where my eyes can feast on vistas and there's silence to hear. Let me dwell in the vastness of the earth I hold so dear. Take me up to the peak I seek. Take me there, where my spirit longs to wander, where my kin have yet to squander riches far beyond mere gold. Take me there, where my heart has heard a calling to a twilight softly falling on a life that's bought and sold. Take me there, where my heart can feel its wholeness, where my mind can leave the whole mess of the human race behind. Take me there, where my hungering is sated and my loneliness abated by the beauty that I find.
By the beauty that I find.
Take me into the stillness where my heart melts with yours, where we've always been each other in the ever-present source. Let me bathe in the splendor of the one uniting force. Take me into the heart within. Take me there, where my heart can feel its wholeness, where my mind can leave the whole mess of the human race behind. Take me there, where my hungering is sated and my loneliness abated by the beauty that I find. Take me there, where my spirit longs to linger, where the song becomes the singer, where there's nothing but pure choice. Take me there, where the melody is clearer, where I feel your presence nearer than my own familiar voice. Take me there, where my spirit longs to linger, where the song becomes the singer, where there's nothing but pure choice. Take me there, where the melody is clearer, where I feel your presence nearer than my own familiar voice. Take me there, where my spirit longs to wander, where my kin can never squander riches far beyond mere gold. Take me there, where my heart can hear you calling. Come away, my precious darling. Come where nothing's bought or sold.
Come where nothing's bought or sold.
Come where nothing's
Come
bought
where
or sold.
nothing's bought or sold.
Come where
Hi, my name is Andrew Chilton. I am 16. As a young person, I am honestly really scared for the future of our planet since we are the ones whose hands this is in. I would like to talk about the Willow Project. It is a massive oil drilling project on Alaska's North Slope. The project could produce up to 600 million barrels of oil and 287 million tons of carbon emissions, along with other greenhouse gases, for 30 years. It can have devastating effects on the environment. It will have a huge impact on the tundra ecosystem. This includes seriously threatening animals such as polar bears and reindeer. All the carbon the project is releasing will seriously speed up climate change. It is extremely bad for so many reasons. I want to be able to experience the nature that past generations have. I want to be able to breathe clean air. I want a future.
Hi, I'm Lucy. I wanted to talk a little bit about how climate change has affected me and many of my peers emotionally. The first time I remember hearing about climate change was in 4th grade from an orange robot named Moby in an educational video. The one thing I remember from this day, or from this occurrence, was the sinking feeling I got learning about how we were destroying our planet. I didn't know what to do. I had always cared about nature and the planet, and the fact that it was slowly going away scared me greatly. In the 6 years since, climate change and environmental issues have caused increasing anxiety in myself and others my age. It is hard to hear news about climate change or even talk about it. I feel like this is especially common with people around my age or a little bit older. Climate change affects all of us, however, growing up with it is different. I want to be hopeful. In general, I'm an optimistic person, but parts of me feel like my future is being slowly destroyed. Because of climate change and what we are doing to our Earth, I fear I won't be able to see or do the things I want in my future. No one should have to grow up or live with this fear, and that is why we have to act now.
Good morning. We are members from the Triangle Youth Team, which is a local youth team from Citizens Climate Lobby, an organization focused on gaining political will for bipartisan climate legislation. And we're here to talk about our experience with climate advocacy. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Caleb. So when you think of climate change, what comes to mind? Do you remember the stories and news articles describing all the havoc that we've brought to our planet? Maybe the headline, we are in the 6th mass extinction, or Florida will be underwater in a century. These shocking headlines and pessimistic outlooks within these news articles get our attention, but they also erase our hope. We are not here to deny the facts that climate change is definitely a catastrophic threat, but we are here to fight the hopelessness so often associated when talking about it. Because without hope, none of us in any humanity would have stepped up to face this calamity. And only if that happened could we truly consider this situation hopeless. So today, we are here as a youth team to tell our stories of how we found hope, to hopefully help those who haven't found yet theirs.
So I'll start off with my climate advocacy journey, which started a couple years ago when I went with my family to watch Al Gore's second climate change documentary, an inconvenient sequel, at my local theater. So fresh off the motivational messages from the documentary, I was able to get connected with Citizens Climate Lobby because they had a table right outside in the theater lobby. And ever since, I have been involved with this youth team. I've learned so much about political activism in regards to the climate and went to the Citizens Climate Lobby annual conference last summer. And at the conference, I was able to present on a youth team and talk about how youth have power in regards to climate and that everyone can get involved. After the conference, I attended lobby meetings with lobby teams formed from other volunteers, which are just ordinary people like you and I. And it was really surreal to meet face-to-face with members of Congress and just have a conversation, because I really thought it was going to be scary to meet with them, but they turned out to be very hospitable and encouraging. These positive experiences have encouraged me to continue fighting for the climate and has allowed me to develop the passion for this work. So now I'm just going to talk about the story of Ashley, who is another member of our youth team. Unfortunately, plans changed and she wasn't able to come today, but we would still like to share her story. I have had a long and tumultuous relationship with climate change and hope. I learned to love nature very early in my life, and just as early, I learned to fear climate change. I watched a lot of nature documentaries as a kid, and I loved them. They revealed so much of the beauty the natural world has, but also constantly reminded me of the terrifying fact. It was all under threat. When I was younger, I believed there was no force humanity could bring that would be able to even mitigate climate change. And when I eventually realized this could not be true, I still believed there was no action I could take to help. Though I finally had hope for the climate, I still had no hope for my own ability to help. Now, speaking here, I have both, because I realized I am not alone. Learning of organizations like the one I'm here with today, where instead of being silent, I could add my voice to our chorus, made me understand how we can work together, and that is what brought me hope. I've been with Citizens Climate Lobby for a little more than a month, but already I've helped plan for and table at an Arbor Day event. Hopefully my first of many, and here I am speaking for you two today. All it took to take that first step was the hope that I could make a change.
Similar to my two peers on my team, there was really a moment that sparked my desire to fight for environmental justice. So when Hurricane Florence swept through my hometown of Emerald Isle, North Carolina in 2018, it destroyed my home and many others in my coastal community. And during this time, I couldn't help but feel despair. Despair for my family, despair for my community, and despair for our world as natural disasters were continuing to worsen and are still continuing to worsen. Now, instead of dwelling on this despair, I decided to find a beacon of hope through environmental activism and academia. Through my local Surfrider chapter, I participated in many beach and town cleanups, and through my school, I've conducted my own research, environmental chemistry research on carbon dioxide trapping in oceanic systems, which you can see on the slideshow. Through these outlets, I have found the power of my actions within climate activism, using my voice as a beacon of hope. As time has gone by, I have found I also have the ability to help youth in my area find their voice within environmental justice. With the Citizens Climate Lobby youth team, I have been a part of a youth climate summit to share the power of youth within climate lobbying and have presented presentations to youth in rural Missouri. Through this activism, I have found that I not only have the power to initiate change through environmental justice, but how I can encourage others to do so as well. Now, while we have only scratched the surface on finding our individualized power within climate justice, our mindset of finding the beacon of light within despair has allowed for a pretty solid start. However, this mindset is not contained to just climate change alone. Each and every person experiences various moments of anguish and hardship, whether that be serious illness in your family, rejection from a job or promotion, or a loss of a friend or relationship. A beautiful quote by the late Nightbird says, "You can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy." Through these various despairs, we implore you to find the hope, find the happiness, just as we have through our environmental activism. Whether it's spearheading a passion project or just being there for your loved ones, your voice through hard times is the true beacon, the true light. Thank you.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our next hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Home. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companion, all we kindred pilgrim soul, making our way by the light of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
If we think about what humans actually need to survive, it's a pretty short list, which includes clean air and water, nutritious food, clothing and shelter, functioning ecosystems, and community. To thrive, I would add education, transportation, healthcare, meaningful work, and art. There used to be, and in some cases, these used to be, and in some cases still are, a part of the commons. However, most of them have been taken over, abused, and corrupted for profit. In a recent article, Tom Hartman asks, are we at peak commodification of humanity? I believe the answer has to be yes, because we can no longer afford this way of life. Our air and water and soil have been used as dumping grounds for toxic waste by corporations which are not required to pay for the damage they do. Our soils have been eroded and degraded by agribusiness, our food and water contaminated with pesticides, our healthcare systems focused on profit over people, our schools and churches and theaters threatened by AR-15s because they make somebody a pile of money. These are not unrelated issues, but the result of a social structure that has outlived its usefulness. The Industrial Revolution, driven by fossil fuels and an extractive economy based on unlimited growth, created an explosion of material goods and services. It also created a lot of freedom and opportunity along the way, and we need to acknowledge that we appreciate our cars and planes and washing machines and hot showers. But all of this has come at a cost. And now that we know the cost, we need to face it squarely and decide if we are willing to let an outdated economic system and business as usual steal our commons and our children's futures. On the fence around the parking lot of the high school in my neighborhood is a message in large cutout letters that says, "We deserve a future." It has been there for so long it is missing some letters. Our children know that their future is at risk if we do not have the courage and commitment to change the trajectory we are on. The IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, recently issued a stark report detailing the severe consequences we are facing unless we change course. They also noted how many of these changes are within our capacity to make, and almost all of them require reclaiming the commons for our own use and putting people and planet before profit. As Joanna Macy puts it, this is a quote, "The ecological and social crises we face are caused by an economic system dependent on accelerating growth. This self-destructing political economy sets its goals and measures its performances in terms of ever-increasing corporate profits. In other words, by how fast materials can be extracted from Earth and turned into consumer products, weapons, and waste. A revolution is underway because people are realizing that our needs can be met without destroying our world. We have the technical knowledge, the communication tools, and material resources to grow enough food, ensure clean air and water, and meet rational energy needs. Future generations, if there is a livable world for them, will look back at the epochal transition we are making to a life-sustaining society. And they may well call this the time of the great turning. It is happening now, and it is gaining momentum through the actions of countless individuals and groups around the world. To see this as the larger context of our lives clears our visions and summons our courage. The Great Turning is a name for the essential adventure of our time, the shift from the industrial growth society to a life-sustaining civilization. As the song says, it is time now. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. Jeffrey Bordelon on AbundantCommunity.com describes the well as a symbol for community. In ancient times, the well was symbolically and often literally located at the center of the community. From the well, the community drew water, the basic sustenance for life. Metaphorically, the well represented all the social resources of the community that were necessary to endure and thrive, end quote. We want to believe that technical fixes like solar panels and electric cars will save us from ourselves. But the crisis we face is more profound than that. The Chinese word for crisis contains the words for both danger and opportunity or change point. This great turning, this transition we must make, is one that will realign our relationships to ourselves, each other, and the natural world. We each have a part to play in it. We must relinquish our fantasies of infinite growth in a finite world, a finite system, our home, this blue planet, this blue boat. We must wrest ourselves from the grip of advertisers promoting more and better and newer. We must relearn a way of relating to our natural world with gratitude, respect, and humility. We can find solace and contentment like old rock in both the eternal and the ephemeral beauty and diversity of the world, enjoying the adventure of living through these exciting changes. We can reclaim the commons for all of life and put the well-being of our communities at the center of our economics. Our society is like a caterpillar that is transforming into a butterfly. Imaginal Labs describes it like this, quote, "After a period of ravenous consumption, a caterpillar finds an appropriate perch and forms a chrysalis. So far, so good. The end result we know is a butterfly, but the truly astonishing thing is that there is no structural similarity at all between a butterfly and a caterpillar. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar, unable to move, actually dissolves into organic goop. Cells which had been dormant in the caterpillar and which biologists have the poetic genius to call imaginal cells begin a process of creating a new form and structure. At first, these imaginal cells, the seeds of future potential, which contain the blueprint of a flying creature, operate independently as single-cell organisms. They are regarded as threats and are attacked by the caterpillar's immune system. But they persist, multiply, and connect with each other. The imaginal cells form clusters and clumps, begin resonating at the same frequency, and passing information back and forth until they hit a tipping point. They begin acting not as discrete individual cells, but as a multi-cell organism. And a butterfly is born," end quote. We can, each of us, be an imaginal cell, connecting with other imaginal cells, creating out of our disintegrating system a new society centered in the commons that meets the needs of everyone. I will meet you at the well.
Thank you, Betsy. Hello again. I would like to take this opportunity to provide an update on our Earth and Climate Justice Month. I'd like to thank all of you that have pledged to take healing actions for ourselves, our Earth, and our children's future, and to those who have participated in various events and activities thus far. The good news is that 28 of us have pledged to take Earth healing actions for our children's future. And well, the not so good news is only 28 of us have done so. That's approximately 4% of our community. Surely we can do better than that. But here's some more good news, that there's still time to make your pledge. And if you have not done so, and you can stop by the Earth Justice table today during fellowship hour to do that, and we have one more Sunday as well. And remember, we have our Yeti tumbler here for our raffle winner to support your waste reduction intentions. In addition, we have 2 more events related to our Earth and Climate Justice Month, so this April. We have a 3-session exploratory and experiential class on spiritual activism that starts today after service in the chapel that I am facilitating. We need about 2 more souls to make this a go, so I invite any of you that are feeling so moved to stop by the chapel after the service to explore that possibility. We also have our annual Sustainable Living Fair scheduled for this upcoming Saturday, April the 29th, 9:30 to 2. We have 6 talks planned on the topic areas of waste reduction, clean energy, and sustainable fashion by subject matter experts and practitioners. We have a plant-based barbecue lunch catered by Pure Vegan Cafe, and demonstration and exhibits of electric vehicles planned as well. Our registration numbers are lower than we would like to see, so please register by the end of the day if you plan on you plan to attend and join us for lunch. And you can actually do that at our table during coffee hour as well. In addition, we have an action opportunity at the Earth Justice table through our community partner, Citizens Climate Lobby, CCL. The action there is related to change state building codes to enhance efficiency and conservation standards. And also, in closing, I invite you to consider joining the Earth Justice Action Group to be part of our efforts to help heal and transform ourselves and our world through individual and collective action. The time is now.
Thank you to our youth who have spoken today, both about their feelings in the midst of all of the information and all of the realities of where our environment is now. Our youth who have spoken on the action that they have begun to take and are taking, the hopes for our future, and what we can do here at ERUF. The actions that are here and present with us in this moment. And now we enter a call for our offering. We weave the fabric of beloved community when we draw our circle ever wider and commit ourselves to offering what we can through our time, talent, and treasure as we cultivate hearts of generosity toward the upliftment of our mission, vision, and work in the world. You may find these cards in your pulpit, in your pew. There's a side for digital giving. There's a side for the other pledge going on that has been going on at ERUF, the general pledge. And if you have not done so yet and you want to, feel free to pledge. As the greeters come forward to pass the plates, if you do not have cash or checks on hand, we invite you to go to eruf.org on your device and hit the Give Now button and follow the instructions from there. If you need assistance with us, come see us in the office directly after service. Jewel Song will now offer our offertory.
For children, we want all the good we enjoyed in our own childhoods, and less of the struggle that we had to face. For the children of the whole human race, we wish you peace and freedom from fear. We wish you love and laughter and joy throughout the year. We wish you roots to deepen and wings to fly, and a great big slice of your favorite pie. For it's made of blankets and igloos of snow. Birthday wish candles need one big blow. Roller skates, bicycles, swing to the sky. Roller coasters, dragging kites, and red balloons to fly. Beauteous, bounteous, bounceable beds. Somersaults, cartwheels, and stands on your heads. Leaping and twirling and bad belly flops. And a bottomless freezer of Loco Pops. We wish you peace, peace and freedom from fear. We wish you love and laughter and joy throughout the year. We wish you roots to deepen and wings to fly, and a great big slice of your favorite pie. Cool aunts and uncles and warm knitted hats. Leaf piles to jump in and furry purry cats. Red Rover, Mother, may I tag your it? Home free. Finding four-leaf clovers, getting stuck up in a tree. Creeks full of crawdads and rocks hiding bugs. Warm ginger cookies and grandma's big soft hugs. Health, heart, and humor, sanity and grace. A wonderlicious planet and a grateful human race. We wish you peace and freedom from fear. We wish you love and laughter and joy throughout the year. We wish you roots to deepen and wings to fly and a great big slice of your favorite pie. Vast Arctic glaciers, silent and blue, a stable home for polar bears when you are 92. Monkey loud rainforest, crystalline streams, capable leaders who crystallize dreams. Plenty for everyone, equally shared. A shoulder to lean on whenever you're scared. Growing in knowing that we are all one. That daytime is playtime, but nighttime's for fun. We wish you peace, peace and freedom from fear. We wish you love and laughter and joy throughout the year. We wish you roots to deepen and wings to fly and a great big slice of your favorite pie and another great big slice of your favorite pie.
Yes, indeed. Sometimes we miss our cues, like myself. Thank you for your love, your time, your contribution to the community. I was so enraptured with the idea of pie. I was a little knocked sideways just by thinking of the blessings of pie. But we give thanks today. We give thanks for you, for your contributions here at ERUF. And now.
So we would like for you to join us on this song. You've heard the words already. They were our opening words. And we'll sing this song that those words were inspired by. And please join us when we come to the
chorus, which will be up.
Which are going to be up there. So that's good. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
And as we go, these words from a Hopi elder's prophecy, this excerpt. You have been telling people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell the people that this is the hour. And there are things to be considered. Where are you living? What are you doing? What are your relationships? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know your garden. It is time to speak your truth, create your community, be good to each other, and do not look outside yourself for your leader. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been waiting for.